All right, here we are. We're about to watch the fights, UFC Fight Night. I got a couple buddies on this fight card as well, so we're just gonna watch these fights and see what's going on, see what's up with it. So today we're joined with a guest, special guest, Sunray Art,
Hello.
and tell us what you do, tell us what you're about.
Sunray Art. My channel is about art, and I've been an artist since I was a kid. There's not a lot on my YouTube right now, there's more on my Instagram, but I was going through a point where I felt like I didn't really want to share my art out with the world, so I have a lot of stuff that I've done over the past little while, some paintings, some digital stuff, and I feel like I'm coming close to being ready to share it. So there's going to be a lot of content coming to both YouTube channel and my Instagram. Both are at sunrayart17.
All right, so keep an eye out for her, Sunray Art. But she's gonna be our guest today, the beautiful Sunray Art. We're watching these fights. It's a rematch. I don't really know much about this guy's heavyweight fight, but we're gonna get into it. All right, watching the first fight. Let's go. This first fight on the main card is Toshiomi and
Hazama
Hizano.
and Shara Shamplos Grigoriou. Very interesting names for the both of them.
Yeah, this is a bantamweight fight. Gotta put the glasses on, can't see. So I think the UFC, they have too many fights. You can't keep up with all the fights they got going on nowadays.
Yeah, there's always new fighters coming in.
Yeah. How'd you get into MMA?
How'd I get into MMA? Well, I did martial arts when I was a kid. My parents put me and my brother into it because they wanted us to have some form of self-defense training, situational awareness, things like that. And then my family would hold UFC fight nights. It was like a big party when I was young, so they'd have all their friends and their friends' kids come over, and it'd be a big party. There'd be food. We'd watch the fights. So I've enjoyed MMA since I was a kid.
Oh yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, it's pretty much how I got into it as well. Except yeah, I mean, I was getting in the backyard fights, but we'd have fight nights and whatnot. It was always a good time. The fight is glitching a little bit right now. So, yeah, and for you guys who are going to be on here talking about the fight already happened, you're late, whatever, I don't care about that. I'm here. We're going to watch these fights and we're going to see what's going on. So, and I don't really care about spoilers either. Like I can hear something like a spoiler and still enjoy a fight. So
Yeah.
controversial podcast. What's up? All right, so we're having technical difficulties with the fights, but we're on the first fight of the night with the bantamweight guys. So as far as I know, I don't really watch the bantamweight weight class. I like to watch the bigger guys. I like to watch, guys throwing bones. I like to watch the big guys. The small guys, they're great fighters, they're incredible fighters, but just for me, I like watching the bigger guys. What class do you like to watch?
Um, I don't know, it depends. I feel like every weight class has their own like interesting parts about it. Like it's always fun to watch the heavyweights because they have so much power and they hit so hard. But then you see the littler guys go in there and they have to have a lot of speed and precision and technique. So, I think that the styles vary depending on your weight class and each one has its own merits. But I feel like I maybe like watching the like mid to smaller weight classes just because you really have to be paying attention to every little thing they're doing to see how the fight's going.
You remember the first fight you ever watched? First fight I ever watched was Tito Ortiz versus Ken Shamrock back in the day, and it was a good fight. It was Tito just kind of beat Ken Shamrock's ass, but it was a good time. That's how I got into it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I necessarily remember the first one just because I was young, but I know that when I started actually sitting down with my family at the fight nights and watching them, that was when like GSP was really big. So he's probably one of the main fighters that I remember like watching early when I started watching the fights.
Yeah, GSP's a great fighter. So I'm trying to sync it up right now. Keeps going to the previous show. So actually, when I ain't gonna do this in order, I don't even care about that. So right now we have Nikolai Virvinov versus I don't
Barlow?
what was his name?
I think it's Barlow. Yeah, Danny Barlow.
We got Nikolai Virvinov versus Danny Barlow. Nikolai is one of my good friends. I'm training with him for years, and he's a solid fighter. He's a legit dude, good dude overall. And we're gonna take a look at this fight and break it down. I actually haven't even seen this fight. I know the final result, but I didn't see this fight. So Nikolai is coming in at I believe 12-2 or something like 12-4, and Danny Barrow's coming in at 8-0. This is a welterweight matchup. Nikolai's from Kazakhstan. Danny Barlow, I don't know. I have no clue where that dude is from. You know anything about either of these guys?
I know I don't know too much about them. I know I feel like on the tail of the tape, one of the guys, I think Danny Barlow has like a 4 inch reach advantage on Nikolai, which is that I feel like that's pretty significant.
Yeah, let's take a look. Let's go deeper into this fight. So Nikolai Virvinov, he's coming in. He's coming in with, he's a striker. On here, it doesn't say the tail of the tape on the UFC site, but we're gonna take your word for it. This is my guy right here. This is the guy we're going for. You know. All right, so fight's about to start. Nikolai, 34 years old. Manny Barlow, 29 years old. None of that matters. Don't get it twisted. Just because someone's 34 years old doesn't mean anything. There's different. Nikolai's a different type of 34-year-old. You know, his title run starts now.
Yeah, and I mean, I've heard that like men, especially physically or athletically, like they get into their prime in their 30s.
Yeah,
So just because someone's older doesn't mean anything. It's about the shape you're in and how hard you've trained and those
yeah.
kinds of things.
Just looking at the fight right now, I mean, Nikolai looks in great shape. 6'1" at welterweight. I mean, that's just a big dude. And I know for a fact he's a big dude and strong dude because I train with him. Danny Barlow, he looks in good shape as well. 6'2", another big dude at welterweight. Looks ready to go. I don't like the haircut. He has some type of weird haircut going on here, but I'm not feeling that haircut. What do you
Yeah,
think about that?
I don't know. It's like a little rat tail coming off the back of his head. That's what I think. I
I mean,
mean,
I don't know. Like, why would you get your haircut like that? I just don't get it. It's a terrible haircut. There's one dude, Charles Johnson. He has the same haircut, but he pulls it off. And look at that. They have one black girl in the UFC, but like I said before, they kind of make them all look the same. So I don't know. All right, so fight's about to start. Here we go. Round one: Danny Barlow versus Nikolai Virvinov. All right, so Nikolai's coming out. He's feinting the kicks. Danny Barlow is kind of moving his hands, and they're both throwing kicks right now. Both throwing kicks. I mean, we got anything to say?
Yeah, I mean, lots of feints early on. It looks like they're just kind of feeling each other out. Just maybe trying to get the range.
Yeah, I mean, also this is in the Apex, so there's like in the Apex, there is no crowd really. There's just a few people in there. I don't really. They started the Apex because of COVID, and they just kept it. I don't really get it. I feel like the Apex really shouldn't be a thing, but
Yeah, it's made it. You can definitely hear it's super quiet in there. You can hear all the punches and kicks landing. Do you feel like it'd be easier to fight like that or harder to fight without a crowd?
I mean, I think it doesn't make a difference once you're in there and you're fighting and you're throwing hands at somebody. It doesn't make a difference. I mean, the crowd can hype you up sometimes, like if they're yelling and they're going crazy and they're cheering for you, he give you a little energy boost.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, maybe it might be easier to get into your thoughts or feel like it's a sparring match almost when you're in the apex. But I mean, they're definitely throwing right now.
Yeah. Yeah, they're throwing hard.
And I mean, one thing I noticed, Danny Barlow has his hands down low. I feel like Nikolai, he has his right hand up high, he's cocked, and he's always moving around his lead hand. Um, I mean, so far it's pretty even.
Push kick.
They're just kind of
Yeah.
point fighting.
Point fighting, trading a little bit. Lots of kicks. I feel like they're both coming out with a lot of kicks.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, you don't need to feel like they are coming out with a lot of kicks. Nikolai looks bigger than this dude for sure. But yeah, I mean, I never heard of this dude. There's so many good fighters out there that you never heard of. So, yeah, like, and Nikolai's one of those guys. This dude hits ridiculously hard. Danny Barlow, I mean, he has an interesting style here. I don't know his background. I don't know nothing about this dude, but I mean, so far he looks. I mean, he must be skilled. He's 8-0, so I mean, it's super hard to go undefeated in MMA. But how
Yeah.
many fights have you had, Sunray?
How many fights have I had?
Yeah, have you had a fight
I have
before?
had a big fat zero number of fights. I do kickboxing. I take a kickboxing class every week,
Oh yeah,
but that's just me versus the bag, or sometimes the coach will hold the pads.
yeah.
But I mean, probably be fun to spar at some point with like one of the other girls in the class just to test it out. But I don't think I'd ever actually get in the ring for something like this.
Well, no, I mean not in the ring. Have you ever been in a fight in general,
Oh,
like in life?
no.
You've never been in a fight, never at school got into fights.
No, I've never gotten into fights. I mean, like I said, I did martial arts when I was a kid, and we would spar. We would put on gloves and headgear and go at it. So I've gotten punched in the face with a glove on before, stuff like that, or gotten kicked, but I haven't gotten into like a street fight or a school fight or anything. I'm
Yeah,
not. I feel like that's not really my personality.
yeah, it makes sense. I mean, yeah, I got in a lot of fights. I mean, so far with this round, this first round, there's 1 minute left. Um, it's really hard to judge this because it's a pretty even fight. There's not really much going on. It's a point fight, and some people will bitch and complain and be like, "Oh, kill him, this and that." Like, if you've never fought before, then you understand. Sometimes the fights are going to be like this because you have two high level guys coming in throwing hands. So it's a chess match. So this round right here is completely even.
Yeah, I don't know who I would give it to. I feel like they've both been landing, they've both been missing a little bit. There was a little scramble there that almost went to the ground.
Yeah, I mean, both of them went for takedowns, and both of them stuffed their takedowns. Both of them are landing basically the exact same amount of shots on each other, and it's a pretty even match. It's on a 10-second count right now, and so far, I mean, I can't really give that round to either guy. I mean, and that at the end there, Danny Barlow went for a takedown, but he didn't get the takedown. It might have went down, but the takedown isn't complete until there's a couple seconds, so that doesn't count.
Yeah, I feel like don't you have to like hold them down and actually kind of get a good position and do something with it? Like if you
Yeah,
hit the ground and bounce back up, then that doesn't count.
yeah, exactly. Even in wrestling, you have to be going for a while before they even count the takedown. So, do you play any sports growing up?
I did. I was a gymnast. I did gymnastics when I was really young, and then I competed gymnastics in high school. So, I mean, that was, I think, like MMA, it's also a very physically demanding sport, and it's dangerous because you're doing crazy flips in the air, you're up on these tiny beams or thin bars swinging around, and, one wrong move and you could fall and get seriously hurt. So, I mean, it was really fun though. I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie, so I kind of liked doing stuff that's a little dangerous.
Yeah. Round two coming up. All right, here we go. All right, round two, Nikolai versus Danny Barlow. Again, it's just very similar movement going on here. They're both just chess match. Danny Barlow knows Nikolai hits hard, so he's kind of being very, very cautious. One thing though, he has his hands kind of down, and that's super dangerous. And I had to learn that the hard way. I had to learn it the hard way in the fight game.
Yeah, what to keep just to keep your hands up.
Yeah, keep the hands up.
And you were saying that you train with Nikolai?
Yeah, I trained with Nikolai for years. This is my guy right there. Super good fighter. Like I've seen him, wreck dudes in the gym. Like guys who are famous champions and stuff, seen him, piece them up in the gym. He's ridiculously good. And, super tough as well, super duper tough. He's from Kazakhstan,
Mm,
and over there in Russia, they have a lot of good fighters. So
yeah. Yeah, he seems tough. He's eaten some pretty hard shots from Barlow and just kept going and shrugged it off.
I mean, I don't really feel like he's even eaten any hard shots. I don't feel Danny Barnes really landed anything. He landed, it looked like a head kick, but it didn't look like it landed flush. I mean,
Yeah.
this is a point fight right now. This isn't like a war. And that's what I'm saying with the Apex, there's not many people in there. And I feel like that can draw you into a point fight scenario more because when people are going ape shit and the crowd's going crazy, and it feels like there's more on the line. You don't want to put on a boring fight. Not to say this fight's boring, but you're more likely to go out there and take more risks. When you hear the crowd going crazy, you're more likely to go for a flying knee or some type of exciting move.
Yeah, you kind of feed off their energy. They're excited for you. They want to see something cool. You want to show them something cool.
Yeah, is that how you have experience with that?
I know. I'm just trying to, put myself in a fighter's mindset and try and think about, what they're feeling, what they're doing. Because it's pretty crazy to go in there and risk your life and risk your safety for other people's entertainment.
Yeah. So why do you like MMA?
Um, I mean, it is fun to watch. I like watching the kind of matchups of skill versus skill, and I mean, I love like action movies and stuff like that. It's always fun to watch people fight. So, I mean, this is probably the highest level of real life fighting. Kind of anything goes. I mean, of course, they have rules and stuff, but I don't know, just to see like the chess match. We're watching them kind of test each other out, throw some things, throw some feints. I don't know, just entertaining. And every fight is different. Every fight is different. Every fight is completely unique. So you're always going to see something new, something interesting when you're watching MMA.
So far, this fight is still pretty even. I mean, Danny Barlow landed some punch on Nikolai. They gave him a little cut, but it was nothing too crazy. It's just an even matchup. Like Nikolai fought Danny Barlow undefeated, and he fought Michael Morales, another undefeated fighter. And both of those fights, because we can see the results of the fight, so we know that Nikolai lost by split decision. Um, Both of those fighters that Nikolai fought, he fought Michael Morales. Michael Morales is still undefeated as a welterweight. He's one of the top guys in the welterweight division. So now he's fighting Danny Barlow, undefeated fighter, another good fighter. Neither of those guys can just come in there and do whatever they want to Nikolai. So that tells you what level of fighter he is. He's a really, really good fighter.
Yeah, it was definitely matching them skill wise, making it difficult.
Yeah, this is just a very this is it's just a point fight, essentially. It's a point fight. Um Chess match. I mean, there's a lot on the line for both guys. I believe this is Danny Barlow's first UFC fight, and this is Nikolai's first UFC fight, but he fought on the Contender Series. So really it's his second UFC fight.
Yeah. But yeah, that is a lot on the line
Yeah, there's
for
so much
both of
online.
them.
And sometimes I think you can get caught up, even though if this is just another fight, you can get caught up with all the pressure of everything, and you might not perform to your best of your abilities. But not to say Nikolai isn't performing the best of his abilities, just this is another good fighter in front of him, and they're both going at it, and they're both putting on a good show. But it's a point fight, and they're being very technical. They both know that they can't slip up. That either one can get knocked out.
Oh, yeah. And I'm sure it's so much different than just fighting in the gym, training and stuff where there's no stakes. And then to come out here on the big stage with all the lights and the cameras. I mean, I just remember from gymnastics, we would compete, and it's always different on the day of when you have an audience and you have judges sitting there watching you. And if you fall off and stuff, then, that's a big blow for you, a big blow for your team. So, the pressure can change the way you perform, whether you want it to or not.
It's completely different. It's similar to gymnastics because it's a one person sport. We got 5 seconds in the second round. Again, it's a pretty even fight. I can't really say that anybody won that either round. To me, it's a draw. So, I mean, what do you think? You think it's a draw or what?
Yeah, it's been super close
Then
both times.
this is the Nikolai Viravinov fight and Danny Barlow we're talking about for the new people that came in. Hit that like button. We're gonna be watching these fights, and we might even go in and watch some different fights, watch some classic fights. We just doing whatever we want here over here. I got the tea. I got the hibiscus tea.
Oh yeah, I got some tea too. This is like a sleepy time blend. It's late here where I am.
Yeah, sleepy time. That's the wrong tea to be drinking for this. But
No, it's okay. It balances out.
we're going into round three. Round three. So far, it's an even fight.
Yeah, we'll see. And you said you saw the results already. Did someone finish it or was it a decision?
I mean, it says it on the
Oh,
screen.
you're looking. Okay. Oh, I'm not looking at that screen.
It says Danny Barlow won by decision.
Okay. So yeah, we'll see.
All right, here we go. Yeah, so I think I mean, for me, I wish Nikolai came out with a little bit more aggression and try to just knock this dude out and just destroy him. But that's the thing. It's easy for me to say while I'm sitting on the couch. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting on the couch. I ate some cookies that had a little bit of juice. I'm safe over here. So it's easy for me to say, oh, you should do this, you should do that. I mean, he's in there fighting, putting on a fight against another undefeated fighter who is point fighting him. So
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure he, like any fighter that gets in there, is doing their best. Of course, they want to win. Of course, they want to do well. So they're going to go in there and do their best no matter what.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's, like you said, it's easy for us to judge from the outside. He should do this, he should do that. But they're in the moment. I'm sure it's very different.
yeah. Regardless, it's a good fight. Regardless, I mean, not every fight is gonna be a brawl. Not every fight is gonna be a war, and every fight doesn't need to be either one of those things.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, like, that's what makes it interesting because I think both of these guys know that the other one is very dangerous. So one slip up, one wrong move could mean the end of the fight for them, could mean a loss. So they do have to be careful facing
Yeah,
off against each other.
I'll be right back. You can keep talking.
I think it's been, I think it's been a good fight so far. Seeing them
Yeah, I would say this is a draw.
close.
I mean, I don't really like how Danny Ball he throws his jab or his cross. I guess that would be. He throws it pretty weird. He's throwing it like this. I don't get it, but it's working for him. That's the thing about fighting. Sometimes, like there's no really necessarily right or wrong way. It's just more of if you can do it and get away with it and it works, then that's what it is.
Yeah, maybe sometimes it's better to do something different because then you're unpredictable. And that can be an advantage on your side. If you throw a punch differently than someone's expecting you to throw it, then maybe you can catch them off guard.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I've experienced that with a few people in the in the fight game. West Coast Club says it should be a draw. And so far, after rewatching this fight, yeah, I would agree. I would agree that it should be a draw. I mean, every round has been even. You can't really say that either person is winning.
Yeah.
It's just an even fight. And I think they should give Nikolai someone who is a striker as well, or maybe a wrestler. They should give him someone who's a wrestler because he would absolutely destroy a wrestler. But I mean, going after this fight, I feel like in that welterweight division, I mean, I don't know. I don't even really know who's in because there's too many fights to keep up with. So I don't even know who half of these dudes are no more.
Yeah, because they have one basically every weekend. They've got a full card, full prelims.
This is UFC Fight Night 95. They're about to have UFC Fight Night 100, and we're on UFC 305. So they've really had like 400 UFC events. This is actually UFC 400. If you actually look at all the events, this is UFC 400. So 50 seconds left in the third round, and I'm saying it's a draw.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't envy the judges. I could not pick either way. But it's definitely picking up a little bit in this
Yeah,
last couple minutes. Some good exchanges. But yeah, I see what you mean about his punches. He's kind of like pawing,
yeah, it's like a pong weird,
not a straight punch.
super weird punch. I feel like Nikolai is a better fighter than Danny Barlow, to be honest. I feel like it's just an off night for him. Whatever. Maybe he's tired. I don't know exactly what happened, but I feel like he's a much better fighter than this guy. And how did
Yeah.
you get into art?
How did I get into art? I actually started from, I was into anime and manga when I was young.
You can't hear you.
Can't hear me?
No, because you're talking too low.
Is this better?
I mean, you just gotta talk louder.
Okay. I was into anime and manga when I was a kid, and I started by emulating that and drawing like faces with the big eyes and the small mouth, small lips, just testing it out. And I really enjoyed it. I had some talent to it, and I was in an art class, like a summer art class, when I was a kid, maybe like, I don't know, 10 years old, something like that. And we did painting, we did some sculpture, we did sketching and stuff like that. I had a really amazing teacher who taught me a lot of very good basic techniques and was very encouraging. So that kind of started it, propelled me into it. And then just ever since then, I would have a sketchbook with me, just drawing whatever I wanted to, whatever I was into at the time, trying to get better. Eventually moved into digital art. And yeah, I mean, I've tried hard to keep up with it throughout my life, even through like college and stuff like that.
Yeah. Was there? How does that? How does art and martial arts how does that go together for you?
How does it go together? I don't know. I don't know if it, I mean, for me, necessarily goes together. I feel like martial art is definitely a type of art, and it's something that has basics, has techniques, but then you get in there and you put your own spin on it and you kind of make it your own thing. I feel like art is like that too. You learn the basics, but then you always want to do something that's different or new or innovative, and I think that translates to martial arts as well.
So here, I mean, this is your channel here, Art Life Ray. Danny brought up one, but I'm not really. I'd say it's a draw. I don't care about how they're saying he won. I'm gonna say it's a draw. But we have your art right here, and so you like to do a lot of like, um, this looks like abstract landscape. Like, what is this exactly?
Yeah, so that's I was trying to do like sort of a paint with me. I'm talking about I had a piece that I had sketched out, and then I wanted to go through the process of actually painting it and explaining what I was doing and talking about some techniques and stuff like that. So I'm putting in some like sunset clouds right now. This is the background of a landscape, and then later I go in with some palm trees and stuff like that. So those videos are a bit of a series. I still need to upload the third one, the final one, but I was thinking it might be interesting. I mean, I kind of like watching people paint or watching people draw or create.
Like some
Yeah,
Bob Ross type shit.
yeah, similar to that. I mean,
So then why did you make this?
that painting or that picture.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's the
took
only painting there.
So I actually took that photo, the sunset with the palm trees. That was a view from the apartment where I was living at the time. And so I took the photo and it even had the phone wires in there. And I thought it was really beautiful. And so I wanted to paint it. And then I added that little bird on sitting on the wires. It's supposed to be kind of like a fiery phoenix, just to add a little more interest or something that's makes it unique or a little bit out there.
Yeah, is a dude Miyamoto Musashi who's a samurai, and later in his life, after he had like 60 death matches, later in his life, he went and started making paintings and whatnot. So painting and painting and martial arts fighting, they go hand in hand.
Yeah. Do you do any art?
Yeah, I do a little bit of art.
You do some
I've
art
been
too?
painting my whole life. I was painting before I started doing martial arts.
Oh, okay.
So that was my first love, you could say. I still paint, I still draw. It just depends on what I got going on. But we got the next fight going on. Here's a featherweight bout. Jackson versus
Mars
Morse
Marskapal?
or something. They look like they're both Brazilian. It's gonna be the small guys fighting. What do you think about the trans? Or she wasn't trans. I think she's um I don't know, like an intersex or something. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with that. But what do you think about the chick winning gold?
The chick is this are you talking about the Olympics
Yeah, Olympics. Yeah, like let me
in
see if I can
boxing?
actually pull it up. Let me see if I can find what the person's name was. I think her name was like
Iman, something like that.
Iman Khalifa or something.
Yeah.
Khalid.
I know I saw the first like match where the girl, her opponent, or I don't know what to say, but their opponent pulled out just because the Iman was hitting so hard. I mean, whether or not he or she is or isn't a girl or not, apparently they still failed the gender eligibility test. There was something that failed the test and they were still allowed to compete. So that's what just kind of more blows my mind. Like why would they let that person compete if they failed the test?
Yeah. So if you had a kid, would you allow your kid to fight against Iman?
I would not want them to. I mean, if it's my kid and they're an adult and this is their dream to compete in the Olympics, then, of course they can make their own choices, but I would, heavily advise them against it. I wouldn't want them to take that risk. And also just on the principle of it as well, because all the trans stuff has been very weird the past couple of years. So sometimes it's better to take a stand against an injustice than to continue on and risk yourself and your health and your safety. But wasn't there another, like an actual man who was also competing in women's boxing in the Olympics?
Yeah, there was another man. I think some like I don't know if he was Indian like Kamala Harris or if he was I don't know exactly, but I know there was another man like an actual man
Yeah,
competing in the Olympics, and it was actually them fighting in the finals.
for the finals.
And I think Iman is the one who won. And I think it's weird. I think they're messing with us because they made the name Iman, so it's like a Freudian slip or something. It's like I am a man.
Yeah,
I am a man, pretty much, and she's going out there knocking chicks out in the Olympics. But chicks were actually like this is what women wanted though. This is what they literally wanted for the longest. Like seeing so many videos on YouTube of girls saying like if Floyd Mayweather was a woman or wanted to go trans, he should have the right to fight against women. Or if Mike Tyson wanted to become a woman, he should be able to fight against women or something along those lines.
that's wild. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how they could say that and look at, especially Mayweather and Mike Tyson, two of the most badass men in the fight game, and say, "Oh yeah, they can fight a woman." I mean, I remember a couple years ago, the first couple times that a biological man fought a woman in like MMA and stuff, he literally cracked a girl's skull.
You're talking about Fallon Fox.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, let's pull up Fallon Fox. That was like a badge of honor. If you could beat Fallon Fox's ass, you instantly got into UFC. And in her women's MMA is way easier than men's MMA because with Fallon Fox, for example, the women that were fighting, they had like a tournament for I think like $50,000. All the women in there, they just had like 3 fights or so. They were beginners, and they had the opportunity to win $50,000 with like 3 fights. In the men's division, you're not winning 50K like that in the beginning unless you're rich or something, unless you're famous, unless you're somebody that's well known. But yeah, that was insane. Fallon Fox. So we're gonna pull up Fallon Fox, who's legit a transgender. She beats a girl in 39 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why, people saw that happen and thought, okay, sure, let's keep doing this. Like, that should be a huge riff out, because I've never heard about someone's skull getting cracked like that.
This is Fallon Fox knocking a chick out. And so, we see here the technique, really isn't there. She's way strong. She hit her with a knee and just knocked her out. Done. Wrecked her. So, I mean, this is what, like, that's a nasty knockout. That's a bad knockout.
That is a bad knockout.
This fight right here is a fight that she lost against Ashley Evans Smith for the tournament or whatever, championship, whatever, on Access TV. And this is actually on Fallon Fox's YouTube page, I guess. I don't know if this is really her page, but yeah. Let's see Fallon Fox MMA highlights. Fight Companion. So we're just going all over the place. Fight Companion. We're watching transgender MMA fights. I mean, why not?
Yeah, it's a hot button topic right now.
Here we
Lots
go.
of interesting conversations.
Please welcome
going
Fallon
on about this
Fox.
stuff.
How do I expect a fight to end? In a bloodbath. What do I think about my opponent, Eric Newsom? He's a pretty strong
Be
fighter.
right back.
I don't think she has a technique of beating, so I'm just going to take it to her over and over again for this fight.
Let's welcome her opponent to the cage, Erica Newsom. I feel really well. I've been training really hard for this opportunity for a long time.
And
look at this girl. I mean, physical specimen,
They
very
like
well.
edited it.
Great shape.
I mean, well, some
She's
people
solid,
take
she's
pride
tough,
in
and
being
she's ready to
champion.
go.
They're not like
She doesn't want Fallon taking
mad or
that
sad about it.
$20,000.
Yeah.
But
Throws and reversals by both fighters.
no, this is
These
the
girls
one that
are
we
getting
seen
right
where she
into it.
knocked the chick out with the knee, nasty knee.
Fox delivering the knees, and that's it. Fallon Fox.
Took her out.
Holy cow! Game over.
I mean,
Wow.
there's not
And a
much
quick
like the
finish
chick.
to our first,
Even if she knew how to fight better,
our first women's $20,000
she probably
championship
would have
tournament
still
fight.
got bodied. This is a $20,000 tournament. So Tom Fox
How you
came
feeling
in
right now?
and just
I'm
stole
feeling excellent. That was sweet, huh?
$20,000
Did you like that?
from the chick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to tell everyone else, I'm coming in this tournament. Every woman in this tournament
This is
better look
Andrew
out.
Tate MMA fight. Let's see what this is looking. Let's see if he's a good fighter or not.
Yeah, I don't think people realize exactly
4
how
wins
much
and
stronger
9
and
losses.
powerful the average
Andrew
woman is than the average
Tate!
This is Andrew Tate.
Our referee in charge of the
MMA
action is
fight.
Mr. Catalan
Let's see
Antalya.
this and break it down. Let's see if he's actually a good fighter. I think he is a good fighter because he has great kickboxing. I don't know who this guy is that he fought is, but you know, let's see what this is about.
And to the more eagle-eyed viewers, you may be seeing that these gentlemen are wearing 4-ounce mixed martial arts gloves. So you're looking at K1-style kickboxing and MMA gloves, and that's a recipe for action and violence, Sebastian.
Absolutely. And another variable to be added onto it. Very good, strong leading kicks there from Tate to start off a fight.
Oh, okay. It's not too long ago.
You can see just how the experience of Tate, just how calm he is there, pulling out that jab. Doesn't flinch on. Oh, that's a thunderous leg kick.
Interesting leg kick, really buckled.
Oh, head kick.
Clearly
Takes his time, not charging in. Oh, he dropped him, standing 8 count coming.
Isn't that
Momentarily in a mixed martial arts fight, I was going to call for some grounding point there. I had to restrain myself.
I mean,
Old habits die hard.
I guess
and Tate just looking fantastic, looking calm, cool, collected.
Almost time, not charging in. Oh, he dropped him, standing 8 count coming.
Right before they drop.
Momentarily in a mixed martial
Another variable to be added onto it. Very good, strong leading kicks there from Tate to start off a fight.
Flipping back on that leg. So
you can see just how you can see the experience of Tate, just how calm he is there, pulling out that jab. Doesn't flinch on. Oh, that's a thunderous leg kick.
Interesting leg kick, really buckled.
Oh, head
kick.
Huge. Takes his time, not charging in. Oh, he dropped him, standing 8 count coming.
Get out of the cage.
Momentarily in a mixed martial arts fight, I was going to call for some grounding point there. I had to restrain myself.
Old habits die hard.
He's getting
and Tate just looking fantastic, looking calm, cool, collected.
Yeah,
almost stalking.
Feet, right?
I think what we could see here is if Strigario can't answer the call, this fight may be called. He's a little unsteady on feet, and that's it. The referee calls it rightly so.
Round, use your feet when you punch and stuff like that.
Oh, this is Tristan Tate, Andrew Tate's brother. I've never seen this fight before. Never seen this fight before, so we're just gonna see this and see what's going on. Because, I mean, UFC. The fight night just happened. The only fight I really cared about was the Nikolai Garabanov fight. I'll be dead honest. It's the only fight I cared about. I don't care about the Sergey fight. I know Sergey he got a submission, I believe. You know, great fighter, you know, but me personally, I only gave a fuck about my boy Nikolai's fight. So, look at that. Tristan Tate kissing the ring card girl before, which I guess is his girlfriend, making out with the hot chicks before he fights.
Before you go in.
The man that's just about to step into the cage gets a
one of the ring girls. I mean, whatever works for you, I guess. I don't know. I feel like you wouldn't necessarily want to be distracted like that when you're about to go fight for your life. But maybe it's motivating.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's different. Everybody has a different thing. Be right back. I gotta fix something real quick.
But he has more importance matters. Colin will be.
I didn't know that Andrew Tate had a brother who also did kickboxing or martial arts.
Then fight against,
yes, maybe
the man
know a ton about
Adi Preda.
Yeah, they came up in martial arts together.
Sidekick coming from a karate background.
Tristan Tate, Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate became a kickboxing champion
training with Amir Silversuit at
Tristan
Storm
Tate, I
Gym in
think in his
London.
own right,
Also did some
was
training with Karen Kendall,
was
my good
a
friend.
champion of some sort, but not to the level of Andrew
Nice
Tate.
kicks by Tristan Tate, gets his back taken by Preda, coming from the judo wrestling background. Adi Preda wrestles since a young age.
All right, so fight just happened. Looks like Tristan Tate got taken down.
Preda ends up in,
and he's just kind of, his guard is passed. He's getting
on top of
kind of smothered and pieced up here.
Tristan. Tries to pass his guard.
I mean, his jiu-jitsu doesn't look very good.
Yeah, even on the feet, it
There's
seemed like
something.
both guys
Tristan,
didn't necessarily
Tristan's
have the
doing
cleanest
not
technique.
bad, you know,
when they were
considering that he took the fight in the day notice. Great escape. Preda goes for the double.
Tristan Tate's, he's getting beat up here. I think this was on the same day that Andrew Tate fought. He fought who the dude he just fought.
And kickboxing of Tristan Tate.
This is on the same card.
And he's chipping away now on top with elbows and knees to the body.
Yeah, what should he be doing right now, Tristan Tate?
Elbows from
He
the
should be
top
putting
by
his hand under
Preda.
the neck right there. He just tapped out. The hand that he tapped out with was one that needed to be under the neck. And then he should have been pushing up on his neck and then hip escaping out right here. This neck that's over his head, it's not going to help him. He needs to have that hand under his neck, and then he can start to wiggle out. And the same time while the guy's throwing elbows, if he has the hand over that was over his head under the neck, he can't really land a clean elbow because then you can frame and move around and get the guy off of you and just kind of not just sit there and take damage. So Tristan Tate, yeah, he got his ass beat in this fight. Yeah, he got wrecked in this fight. I mean, same thing could have happened to Andrew Tate, but we didn't get to see him on the ground. So, you know, the hand right here that's over his head.
Yeah, he wants to maybe push him, like, kind of create space between him and
the
that
referee just stops the fight.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that was a mauling. We're just gonna keep going down. We're just gonna keep going down and see what's going on. It's Andrew Tate versus
Picture this. You're sitting at home alone watching YouTube videos, wondering why you can't find the motivation to do the thing.
Fighting out of the blue corner, he brings an excellent record of 31 fights, 29 wins. 22 of those wins coming by way of KO, with only 2 losses.
Good fighter.
He is an
people
ISKA
can say whatever they
2-weight
want about the
and
dude,
current world kickboxing champion. Please welcome all the way from the USA.
But we'll come right back to that. My stream, for whatever reason, glitched out. It's not working. But, you know, pretty much we know who won the fights. Sergey won the fight. He won the heavyweight, battle, whatever. He's a solid fighter. He is a contender. He got it to submission. What do you know about the heavyweight division?
I don't think I know much about specific people or fighters, but I know that the pool of heavyweights is a lot smaller. There's a lot less fighters in the heavyweight division. So, I mean, in that ways, it can maybe be a little easier to climb up the ranks because you don't have to go through as many people. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. It's not as many people as something like 155, but I mean, that's like everybody knows that. So, yeah, there's not many people who are big at heavyweight. So,
yeah, I actually saw the heavyweights Ngannou versus Gon, that fight a while ago. I saw that in person. It was very cool to be there in the room and see these 2 big guys, you know, throwing down and really going at it. So it's definitely exciting to watch.
what is?
The heavyweights fighting.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
The bigger they are, the harder they fall. You know, the classic line. So.
yeah, I mean, seeing 2 big dudes throw down is definitely definitely exciting.
A big punching.
This weight class, this is this is I think 205 pounds.
And opposing him, fighting out of the red corner, bringing a proud record of 54 fights with 40 wins. 19 of those wins coming by way of KO, with 12 losses and 2 draws. Please give a warm welcome to the man from Holland, Marino Schouten.
Amino acids. That's what they do in bodybuilding.
I'm not used
Marino
to seeing
Schouten,
Andrew Tate
veteran,
with hair.
very, very good fighter. Mixes some very, very good
different
names. From the Jim Vanos, now with Ernesto Hoost. Lives in Alkmaar, a beautiful little city just outside of Amsterdam. But they're saying this is the only American who can swap it with the Dutch.
Is kind of in a boxing ring, or does it just
Straight away, Andrew
This is a
with his
kickboxing fight, so it's going to be in a
style.
kickboxing ring,
Nice
boxing
block from
ring.
Tate.
You don't know much about fighting, I
just
guess.
coming forward there.
You don't
Not
fight
actually
MMA.
managing
You
to get
don't
any
fight
shots off yet.
kickboxing in the cage, really.
Yeah, I mean, I know about MMA, but I don't really know about
Long sharp jab from Tate.
necessarily.
Unusual
Yeah,
style.
boxing,
Nice leg kick from
kickboxing
Schouten
is
as he
done in the
comes
boxing
with his
ring.
hands pressed to the side of his
So,
head.
Andrew just looks
so
so
far, I
strong,
mean,
like
this
his
is
jab and his legs. So hard to get past.
Tate's very, very quick.
this is. I mean, there's not really much to say about this fight so far. I mean, good
So
kicks coming
relaxed
out the
Andrew
gate.
is. He's just throwing those shots.
Shows
Really
no
relaxed.
emotion, Tate. No emotion when he fights at all. Good legs,
I mean,
blocking skills
this is
from
a
him.
good fight so
Nice
far,
left hook
but
from
Frustrated
Schouten
it's
as he
also a
bursts out of his leg.
14-minute fight. I'm not trying to watch a 14-minute fight. I'm gonna show. We're gonna watch some of the fights I had back in the day, way back in the day.
Some of your fights?
None of my fights are on there. This fight here was in my garage, and yeah, this is way back. This is like when I was in high school. My boy Chance and Justin fighting in the garage. Justin, rest in peace. You know, unfortunately, he passed away back like I think in 2012, 2013. But that's me back there in the corner with the flannel on, and we're throwing down. This is years ago. This is like all we would do. We would just have these fights in the garage, and we would just throw down. I think there, and these were like super quick fights. We had no idea what we were doing at all.
Yeah, just putting on the gloves and throwing hands.
Yeah, and I don't recommend it. I mean, this, for example, this is one of the fights that we had back in the days. Same thing. Bare knuckle. This is way before bare knuckle FC.
Yeah, bare knuckles, dangerous.
This is in a closet, throwing down. 2 wrestlers just throwing down. It's like all we did. We just fight.
Yeah, this is not safe.
Not at all. This is some hillbilly shit. We would just fight, put the gloves on or no gloves on, and just see what happens. And yeah, we were so dumb. We had no idea of how things could go left here. It could have went way left, like break somebody's nose. You get hit hard enough, and your brains bleed. It can go left in a million different ways. So we're lucky that nobody got hurt, but yeah, we're throwing elbows, like everything.
Yeah, that's crazy. Your real life fight club going on.
Yeah, was a real life fight club, and yeah, wrestler won.
Did your parents know you were doing this stuff, or would you hide it?
I mean, yeah, they heard about it, like at school where they would call my parents like, oh yeah, they started a fight club and they're doing this and they're doing that. But I don't think they really understood exactly what we were doing.
Yeah, like how far you were taking it.
Yeah, we would take this, we'd get whatever, charge everybody a couple bucks, come to the fight. That's me, the referee, right there. And this is my boy Alex Leak, who also passed away, rest in peace, versus my buddy Kale. And we're just in a soccer, like a hidden soccer field, and we're just throwing down, and is what we would do pretty much every day. So
yeah, and none of you guys were like in martial arts training or anything. You were just
nah,
seeing what would happen, seeing what you could do.
Nah, we're not. None of us were in martial arts. We were just going, seeing what would happen, throwing hands. Is just street fighting. I mean, we would watch fights on YouTube and then try to see, what would happen. See, just basically experiment. And sometimes it went good, sometimes it went bad. Luckily, somehow nobody got seriously injured or seriously hurt. But I'm gonna try to fix this stream and see what's going on with that. So we get these UFC fights back on. But yeah, somehow nobody got injured.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely a blessing that no one got injured.
And I see videos all the time on like Instagram, YouTube, wherever, of like kids doing the exact same thing that we did back in the day, and I don't recommend it. It's crazy. First off, it's crazy. Second off, you can get seriously injured. But then again, I think, if as a fighter, it just is what it is. I guess it's something that's just inside of you, and it's just something that's people are gonna do and gravitate towards regardless. So,
So yeah, if I mean, it'd be much better than to be in like an actual martial arts studio where you're learning with safety and learning from real instructors. But I guess if that's not available.
I mean, it was available. We don't care about that. We're trying to beat each other's ass. Like, it's not what it's about. It's not about learning martial arts. We're trying to beat each other. This is about ego. This is about who has the bigger balls. That's what this is about. This is no like, oh, martial arts. Like, no, this is for ego. We're gonna beat each other's ass. This is some man shit going on. You wouldn't get it.
No, I wouldn't get it. That's not my thing. My ego's not about beating people's asses. I mean, yeah, this is a boy thing. This is a man thing. So I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
But I mean, you'd never catch me out there doing that.
So
actually, I did once, like, sort of spar one of my friends, but it was just for like a minute. It didn't go anything like this.
And it was a girl or a guy or what?
No, it was a girl. We were just like hanging out after school at the park, and then we weren't like punching each other. We were just kind of slapping each other. But we went back and forth for a little bit. Then it was like, okay, haha, that was fun. Let's not do that again.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, these were straight on, full on fights. So for people who just joined, we're looking back at the fight clubs I had back in high school and stuff like that. We would do this every day, and if you watch closely, I'm the big black guy. That was me back in the day. I'm like 18, 17 here, 17, 16, something like that. And we would just have these fights, and this is what we would do is every day. So this is UFC Fight Companion, but we're gonna just be looking at different fights and just talking shit and seeing what's going on. So that's what we did. That's what we did daily. And then we got into fighting. Let me see. This fight right here was insane. So right here, Alex versus Howard Grant. Like, we were so fucking dumb. Oh, and before the fight even starts, we were so dumb that literally we thought it was a good idea to put on no gloves. Like, you'll see it in here in a second. Dude has no gloves on. One guy has gloves. The guy who's bigger has the gloves, doesn't have gloves. And he absolutely brutalizes the dude. We were just dumb high school kids. But this is how I got into fighting. Round one. And these are brutal fights. Like trust me, these aren't just like, these are real fights, street fights. And this is what we did. We had no technique. Someone could have easily got really, really hurt. It's really amazing that nobody did. My first backyard fight, I had a concussion. I got fucking slammed down. I got I had a headache for like probably like a month after I got my ass beat. I was laying in bed with like flashes and shit going through my eyes, and I was just like, all right, I gotta learn this. I gotta learn this shit. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna beat that dude's ass. But look at this. This is like what we did here. This is a bare knuckle. This is way before bare knuckle FC. Who gives a fuck about bare knuckle FC? This is way before bare knuckle FC. This was O'Fallon FC, and we were just beating each other's ass like some high school kid. Like these are brutal fights. These are absolutely brutal fights. And this is this was a this isn't a street fight. This is a mutual combat fight. So that's how we got into it. And but we had heart though. We had a lot of heart. That's what we had. We didn't know much and we were dumb, but we had a lot of heart and we would just do these dumbass fights. And like the kid one kid here is like probably like 180 pounds. The other dude is probably 130 pounds, 140 pounds max. And we're going bare knuckle and bro keeps getting up, keeps fighting. Like we had heart, but we were just dumb. That's the thing. And it's a miracle nobody got their ass beat. Nobody got seriously hurt and knocked out.
Yeah. Oh, I'm definitely impressed. It takes a lot of guts especially for him to go up against a guy that big, or for you guys to keep coming back every single day and doing this over and over again. So you have to kind of, really, I don't know if you say love it or enjoy it, but there's something about it that, keeps bringing you back, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, it's just like whenever you fight, that's something that people don't understand. Like you see someone like Tony Ferguson, he loses the fight and he keeps coming back for more. People are like, why does he keep coming back? People don't understand. Once you start fighting, everything else in life is boring after that. So it's like similar to being like a war veteran. Like you go out and even though you hate war, you might have just went out like Rambo and were blowing stuff up and, just having this crazy simulation, and then you go back to civilian life and it's like something's missing. That's how it is in fighting, because I hate fighting. I'm not gonna. I like fighting. I'll be honest. I like fighting, but however, I also hate it as well. I don't really know how to explain it. Like getting your ass beat, being tired, it's a shitty situation. But clearly, I must love it because I keep going back to it. But yeah, like nobody knew what they were doing here. Like this is a shitty ass choke that he put on, and it's just he just squeezed it, and then that was it. Pretty much he just squeezed it, and he got the tap. So now this is one of my fights when I was 16, and we were just in the backyard, in the front yard, and we're just throwing down. Renee Campos, dope ass stream. I like how you explain everything in the real type of way, straight facts. My man or woman, I don't know which one you are, but my man. So yeah, but let's go back to that real quick. So this was
that knockout
back in the day, way back in the day, and at 16. The story behind this was we were at some type of party, and the dude showed up to my place, and he was like, all right, let's have a fight. Or no, we at the party, he was like, we're gonna have a fight. Showed up with a bunch of guys. We had to fight, threw the gloves on. I was in the basement training my balls off every single day. Every single day I was training my balls off. So that's kind of how that went. What we would do is there's so many fights that we would do. But for the people who missed it, look at this fight right here. This is a bare knuckle. This is before bare knuckle FC. Like, this is a wrestling hybrid / just brawl straight up. And this is what we would do every single day. I'm really confused. I don't know how nobody got seriously injured. In the chat, hey chat, have any of you guys been in fights? Drop your fight stories.
Yeah, I know. I can't imagine. I think, like I said earlier, I've never been in an actual fight. Never had beef with anyone to the point where we were throwing hands and stuff. So I can't imagine, and I hopefully I never have to do that. But I mean, lots of props to you guys for putting yourself in this situation.
I mean, no props. This was just dumbass, like high school teenagers being idiots. Like, there's no props here with this. I don't recommend this at all. But sometimes you gotta get it out of yourself. Like, there's something inside of most men, I would say, that for whatever reason, you feel like you have to prove yourself sometimes, and that's why you see men doing crazy stuff like climbing mountains or stupid stuff like just something ridiculous.
Yeah, I feel like men and even like boys growing up, they need some sort of outlet like that, some sort of really tough physical outlet where they can burn off all their energy and just really like do something difficult and get that
MMA
achievement.
says what was in the fight last week, and Renee Campos says, "Yup, BJJ and wrestling to calm some food down, nothing serious." Yeah, so I'll tell you a story. I used to be a bouncer, and when I was a bouncer, there'd be all types of different situations. So a lot of people, when you're a professional fighter or people know you fight, they think it's a joke, and they think that they want to call your bluff. So this dude thought I was not really a fighter because I'm being friendly, whatever. So he's like, all right, well, I think I can beat this guy's ass. So, and he's drunk, he got the liquid courage and whatever. So me and this dude get into it, and I'm like, all right, let's go outside. So we go outside, and then, I had other security guards who were looking out for my best interest. So they're like, nah, they kind of kept me inside. But that guy got his ass beat outside the thing by the other guys. So there's also another time where there was some type of brawl that went down. It was like probably like 10 guys going absolutely ape shit. And to break up the brawl, I come in, one guy's going ape shit. I slide behind him, boom, put the choke on him, and I whispered in his ear, I said, calm down. And I kind of gave him a slight squeeze, and he calmed down. So I feel you, Renee Campos. Jiu-jitsu, I don't recommend using that as your first thing in a street fight because that can go left real quick. But jiu-jitsu definitely works. Hey, if anybody wants to call in to the show, drop a comment in the chat. I'll send you the link and we can call in. We can cam up. But we're gonna go for probably about another hour, and we're just gonna watch these fights and see what's going on. But some of the fights. So I want to show you guys some of the old school fights, like pride fights. But UFC has a lock on those fights so we probably can't watch those. But we're gonna keep watching some good fights here. I mean, there's just an abundance of fights. So
yeah, I've definitely seen a lot of clips of people like in street fights or in real life situations using jiu-jitsu to like subdue someone without having to actually hurt them or throw a punch or anything. So I think it can definitely be effective when you need it, but I mean, I feel like you should be able to actually fight as well, be able to defend yourself in other ways.
there's a dude from Street Beefs called Death Sentence, and I mean he's an entertaining guy. I can't lie. I gotta drive, but another time, keep it up, broski. Good explanation, my man. So there's a dude from Street Beefs called Death Sentence, and he is absolute trash at fighting, but he's entertaining. I'm not gonna lie. I followed him on Instagram, even though he can't fight for shit. So now we're gonna watch Death Sentence. We're gonna watch this fight, and we just can kind of break it down. I mean, Street Beefs is on good fight.
I am Death Sentence! Yes, sir! White Wolf! Prepare to be slaughtered! Like the pig you are.
Hold on, why you want?
You don't scare me.
He thinks he's Naruto.
Yes, sir! White Wolf! Prepare to be slaughtered. Like the pig you are.
Hold on, why you want? Fights that this YouTube channel is putting on, right?
These are street fights. You guys that don't know how to fight. I mean, you might get every once in a while, you might get some weirdo who's been training and then actually jumps in. But
all right, bring it in, fellas. Let's get
yeah,
this
these are
face
supposed
off.
to be fights where these guys don't know how to fight. This is essentially what we were doing in high school.
Yeah.
All right, we
And
brought
this
the dogs
dude,
out.
Death Sentence,
Face the camera.
is like one of their biggest
Any last
stars.
things you guys want to say to each other?
Yeah, let's look at the technique of this dude, Death Sentence. And, he was saying that he was going to beat my ass, actually.
Fighter
on
ready.
Instagram.
Remember, watch the
So,
back of the head. Death sentence. Watch the back of the head, all right? Ready?
yeah,
Let's go.
he was like saying he was going to beat my ass or something. Along those lines. But he's a troll.
Let's go! Pick him up! Pick him up!
I mean, first off, don't ever let somebody get behind you like that.
Let's go!
That sounds gets ragdolled and he starts getting his ass beat by White Wolf. White boy or White Wolf? Which one was it?
Was
that his name?
Oh, I think it's probably White.
That's all right. He's chilling.
White
That's
Wolf. Yeah, White Wolf beat Death Sentence to ass. And he almost gave Death Sentence the actual death sentence. Because it looks like he's dead right here. So,
I can't believe you humbled himself.
Yeah, that's not good.
so if you don't know how to fight, I don't recommend getting into these backyard fights.
Yeah, because the official fights, they have the referees. There's people watching for the safety like that. But, I mean, if you get someone in a choke like that, hold on to it too long, you could do some real damage.
Yeah, it only takes after you put somebody in a choke, if they fall asleep, it takes about after 3 minutes, you're damn near gonna die type shit after a few minutes.
Howdy, I'm Vice
Grip.
I've trained all my life but never done much with my training, so now that these guys are here, I got a chance to do something with it.
Fight back, boxer. Fight back.
I'm Vice Grip. I'm 56, 1-0 in the scrapyard. I've had a belief all my life that the 50-something comeback thing is a terrible idea, but here I am doing it anyway, so let's see how it works out.
Yeah, there you go.
Stay off my lawn. I'm Vice Grip, and why I oughta.
Vice Grip. I don't think they're getting paid for these fights.
Vice Grip back for the rematch. Last time I was here, I took an L, but I'm not sore about that. This time, if I fall on my face, there's only going to be one person taking the blame, and I'll say who that is at the time, because it sure as the fuck ain't going to be me. All right, let's start this thing.
There you go. Good job.
He's 50-something years old.
I've trained all my life, never done much with my training, so now that these guys are here, I got a chance to do something with it.
Fight back, boxer. Fight back.
Which I don't think people realize,
Howdy, I'm Vice Grip. I've trained all my life and never
die fairly easily if things just go left. Like Vicente Luque, he almost died in one of his fights with Geoff Neal. But
And weren't there recently some boxers who died from getting knocked out?
I mean, there's always boxers that die. Boxers die every day in boxing. But yeah, there was Artie and Dembo. And I mean, boxers die every day in boxing. There's it's not even there's been 3,000 boxers that have died since the beginning of boxing that is recorded.
That's a lot. I mean, that just goes to show you how dangerous that kind of head trauma can be.
I mean, I don't think anybody thinks getting punched in the head isn't going to be dangerous. I don't know.
Yeah, but then you see old guys like that going in.
I mean, he's just dumb. He's just retarded. Why would you go in there as a 50-something-year-old man and go in some unsanctioned backyard fight and think you're gonna be okay? Like,
oh yeah, oh I agree, 100%.
Guy's an
Not a
idiot.
smart move.
So we're gonna go back and look at some more street fights. This is Good Night versus White Wolf.
I believe two souls are drawn to each other, and if they don't meet in one life.
Good Night versus White Wolf. White Wolf is a dude that beat up death sentence.
150 pounds. I'm coming for it. All respect to my opponent. All respect to everybody that's up in here. This is Street Beefs, baby. Let's get it.
White Wolf, 5'8". I am 2 and 3 in the yard. Not 100% sure how it's going to go. Experience for the both of us is about the same. So we'll see how it goes. Shout out to Cody for being a warrior. Let's get that work in. No talk.
To your respectable corners, obey my commands. Protect yourselves at all times, man. Protect yourselves at all times. Mouthpiece, mouthpiece. Round one, let's work.
This is a bunch of grown men playing pretend. He's pretending he's a referee, and these two dudes are pretending they're prize fighters. It's fucking embarrassing.
Yeah. I mean, they're trying to get a bit of that fighter glory in any way they can.
Where you closest to?
As soon as he plants his foot, go that kick again. I got a better idea. Just punch him in the face.
I can't stand when two grown men are fighting. When two grown men are fighting, you weirdos who sit back in the audience who say stupid shit. I mean, yeah, if you paid for your ticket, that's one thing, I guess. You have the right to say whatever you want. But for me, that's why I can't watch fights around people, because they just say stupid shit. I'm like, it's like, these are two grown men fucking fighting. Like, shut the fuck up and have some respect.
Posture up, drop some elbows on it. You can throw slicers as long as it's not 12 to 6. Butterflies, butterflies. Yo, ankle submission. Put him in an ankle
You got
lock.
nothing to say about this life, Ray?
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching. I've never seen this before. I'm trying to figure out what they're doing, or if they're using actual techniques. They're just kind of throwing themselves around.
He's trying to go for a guillotine choke. So the guy on top can actually choke out White Wolf if the guy on top if someone puts you, because this happens all the time. This happens all the time in street fights. If someone doesn't know how to fight and you take them down, usually they're going to grab your neck. If they're grabbing your neck and you have your other arm over, you can grab them and squeeze them and put your shoulder into their neck. Look at that shoulder. Look at the muscles on that dude. Look at the muscles there, where you can grab them and put them and squeeze them. And if you put the pressure on the carotid artery, it will actually put them to sleep. So all that dude had to do there was put the choke in, but he didn't know he let go of it.
Put your elbow into his throat. Posture up. Elbow into his throat. Posture up. Yo, stand up. Stand up and slam it. Stand up and fucking slam
Nah, he's not gonna be able to finish it. Now the other dude has. See what I'm saying? When people don't know how to fight, they're just gonna go for guillotine chokes.
Yeah.
But this dude, like, he's doing the armbar on the wrong side, like completely wrong. These guys have no idea what they're doing. And this is actually gonna be somewhat of a long fight. But these guys have no clue what they're doing at all.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they've just seen stuff in UFC or professional fights.
They're playing pretend. Young man playing pretend. He should be keeping his hands up. It's a good way to get knocked out.
I know, we were talking about that earlier with the UFC fights. That's the important part. Keep your hands up. Protect yourself.
You got as much time as you need. Go ahead, take your time.
Somebody get him some water.
You got me in the nuts hard. Guys, see how it.
This is a long fight. They're still going on.
Now he's getting cocky. If White Wolf knew how to fight at all, he just have his hands up like this. He just have his hands up like this and just come forward, and all the stuff that dude's throwing not really gonna land or have much of an impact. Man, it looks like a wrap. Oh, but he doesn't know what he's doing. He has no clue what he's doing. He keeps going for the choke. And White Wolf is getting his ass beat. This is the worst jiu-jitsu I've ever seen in my life. I guess they're throwing elbows in a fucking unsanctioned fight. These guys are dumb as fuck. He's throwing elbows in an unsanctioned fight.
Show me something.
Because it was so nasty.
Yeah, and I doubt these dudes are getting paid for these fights. These dudes are idiots. But I can't blame them though, because I did the same thing.
Yeah, that's true.
I did the same thing.
Street Beast
But,
family, what's up,
we
y'all?
did
Face,
have rules
my
though.
brother,
We didn't like
Esteban here at Neutral Corner.
we didn't throw elbows and stuff like that. Let's watch another one. Street Beach. This is their biggest fight. Street Beach title match. Baby Hulk versus King.
Summer's here, and so too are its many challenges. Heat that won't quit.
Got their own whole little organization going on over there.
Y'all miss me? I miss y'all. Baby Hope, Wilmington, North Carolina, Port City Sports Performance, Salty Dog Jiu-Jitsu. I left something while I was here to get it back.
I'm the Viking, fighting out of Virginia Beach. Street Beefs, we got us a title match for y'all. And the return of a Street Beefs favorite.
Shut up. I'm not trying to hear that shit. Both of these dudes train. So should be interesting. I was actually thinking of putting on some type of an event like similar like Street Beefs, but like just people who don't know how to fight coming and boxing and then just recording it and seeing what happens. I think that would be interesting.
Yeah, I think it'd be entertaining.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get into fight promotion at some point. Who do you think is gonna win this fight? I've never seen this fight. Maybe some of you guys have seen this fight. I've never seen this fight. So you let me know what you think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's tough to say without knowing anything about him, but I don't know. We'll see him move a little bit. But you said.
We're making prediction. You have to choose one.
Yeah, so it's Baby Hulk versus what's the other guy's name?
The Viking. MMA says Baby Hulk.
Baby Hulk. Yeah, I gotta see what the Viking looks like. I feel like Baby Hulk's gonna win too. He's got that look in his eye.
You're just saying that because he's black.
No, I'm not saying that.
No. Let's say, or like Ray, why do you think? Why do you think Baby Hulk is gonna win?
I mean, he looks like a tough guy.
Because he's more intimidating because he's black. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I'm intimidated by black people.
Wow, exposed.
Oops.
So here we go, Baby Hulk versus Viking. Let's go. I got Baby Hulk as well.
And in this corner, we got our microweight champion.
Microweight champ.
He's 5-0 in Satan's backyard. Be safe, fellas. Fight hard.
Nah, this isn't an official fight. You can make do whatever you want.
He's wearing the guy's wearing Dunder Mifflin fight shorts.
Yeah.
Any Office fans out there?
You know what he's gonna do.
I've never seen it.
Funny. It's the complete opposite of a backyard street fight.
Watch for the shoot. Nice fight long. Fight long, yeah. See?
Oh, I didn't realize the size difference when I predicted Baby Hulk.
Oh yeah. Damn. Viking is huge.
Yeah, he is huge. That's crazy. And they're the same weight? I mean, they must be. It's a micro.
I mean, they probably didn't even really weigh in.
Yeah, relax.
Fight underhooks.
So one thing when you're super tall, when you're taller than somebody, the other person, so Baby Hulk has an advantage when it comes to wrestling just because his center of gravity is lower than the other guys. So he's usually, if you're that tall, you're not going to be as strong. So Baby Hulk, every body type has its advantages and disadvantages. Baby Hulk has a short, stocky build. He has a lot of muscle. The tall Viking guy, he's long and tall, and he can strike, but he's not going to be as strong. So right now, he's at a disadvantage.
Yeah, especially with the wrestling, right?
Yeah, especially with wrestling.
Swing it out there.
Baby Hulk will probably hit harder than Viking as well.
All right, nice. Hands up, yep. Wrap around the arm, wrap around his arm. Get it.
Yeah, come down pretty easy.
Those are real shots.
Control the head.
Hook the leg. Up kick, nice. Hook the leg, Kyle. Nice.
Triangle.
There you go. Are you good?
I mean, this is good jiu-jitsu, but I mean, this is not good jiu-jitsu. I mean, for a backyard YouTube street fight, it's good jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But these guys are white belts. Both dudes are white belts. And sometimes that's what fighting is about. You just go in there and just throw hands and see what happens. It doesn't always have to be so technical. Sometimes you just got to go in there and see what happens. Let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, you're learning through experience, real-time experience.
Oh yeah.
Regard. Nice. Up kick. Yeah, nice. Just like that. There you go, Dave. Nice. Be ready for him to come in. Control. Send it up. Where we want to be.
I mean, I wonder how they get away with this because I feel like they're probably charging people to watch this. And wherever they're at, I mean, I don't know. They don't have any lights. Oh, shit. Man. That's for slavery. That shot was for slavery, 1000%. The amount of animosity he came with that one with, I mean, let's see that again.
Leg kicks, man. Destroy them legs.
Yeah, that was good.
And those are behind the head as well. These, like, someone's gonna get fucking hurt bad, man.
Keep going.
I mean, this is just a mauling. This isn't even close. If you're fighting somebody smaller, you have to watch out for that overhand. The overhand coming up over the top is something that you really got to watch out for when you're fighting somebody smaller than you, because they're going to hit harder usually. But sometimes you get guys like Deontay Wilder, who is long and he has a lot of strength and he hits super hard. But usually a smaller man who is the same weight is going to be a little bit stronger and is going to hit a little bit harder because just the way the body is designed.
Yeah,
so
like they're going to be a little bit denser.
Yeah, exactly.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ready?
Round 2.
Oh, that was just round 1.
And Baby Hulk is short, super short.
Lower, Kyle. Lower.
Take the leg, Kyle. Take the leg.
Head smaller.
Hands up.
So I just did a video. I just did a video on the most effective kick. So if Viking were watching my video, he could have won this fight. The teep kick, which we're gonna go into that next. But Viking should have been throwing teep kicks and side kicks to get this dude off of him.
Yeah, I remember my instructor in martial arts would say, if you're taller than the person, you got to make sure you use your legs, your punches to keep your distance.
Oh yeah,
And that's your advantage.
It's a huge advantage. Like, bro, Viking is using it. You know, he's getting his ass beat here and he stopped the fight. I mean, this is like 10-8 rounds.
Yeah, no, you can't get taken damage like that.
Come on now.
Got his ass beat. So now we're gonna look at the most effective kick and how Viking could have used that kick, the teep kick, to win that fight. So all he had to do was just throw the teep kick. But so where is it? So here we go. Most effective.
I like it a lot because it's like
this is all Viking had to do.
Boom, right under the chin. I go here, jab, cross. Boom. This is one of my favorites here. The best kick in all martial arts is the teep kick or the push kick. I like it a lot because it's like it's similar to a jab, and it's an easy move that everybody could do, and it works in all different types of self-defense scenarios. Whether you're in a street fight, like someone has a knife, the best move you could do is like a teep kick that's going to keep you safe. It keeps you safe. Your legs are some of the longest limbs on your body and some of the most powerful. So I like this teep kick, push or the push kick. All right, so here we go. So here we're going to start with the front snap kick. I'm here. I'm gonna slightly move my front leg back, just slightly like this. And there's a lot of different things that could happen here. Maybe he comes and he throws like an attack, maybe like a kick, and I just slightly move it out the way. And now I'm gonna do is now it's chambered. So now I'm just gonna lift it up, boom, throw it straight to the chin. So I'm here, boom. It's kind of similar to a switch kick, but I'm here. I'm gonna step back slightly, boom. That's going right under the chin. This is a really quick kick. All right, so now we're gonna go into the teep kick. I'm gonna switch my stance actually. So I like to do it from the back side, the back leg. I'm gonna lift my knee straight up, and I'm gonna push my foot into him. Boom, and I'm pushing back. This right here is a great move because anytime he steps forward, boom, right to the body, boom, right to the body, boom, boom, and I can really push him back. Like if you've ever seen 300 when he does the Sparta kick, it's a really good move. There's also so many ways you could do it. I could run into this move and push him down. I could jump into it, throw it in the face. It's just a really easy move. So we're here. I'm gonna lift my knee and I'm just gonna go straight in. So I'm here, I'm lifting the knee like this. And this range I should actually be a little bit further back. This is the range right here. So I'm gonna lift my knee and I'm gonna throw the kick straight into him. Boom, just like that. Just like that. And I'm gonna kind of use some energy to push him backwards. Boom, right there. So that right there is the push kick. If I'm gonna now, I can go to a lot of different targets. I can go to head, the body. I can even throw it at his knee here. Boom. I can throw it at the knee, full blast. If you're in a street fight, it's a really, really good way to get the person to stop coming forward. So now I'm going back to that front snap kick. So here, I'm taking my leg back. Boom, right under the chin. I go here, jab, cross. Boom. This is one of my favorites here. I throw the teep kick. Boom. Teep kick, boom. And now he's ready for the teep kick. So now I lift my knee, boom, Superman punch. But the teep kick is just a great move, a real simple move. And there's so many different ways and different attacks you can use to with the teep kick. Well, it's the jab of your feet. So you can throw your jabs out, boom, boom, boom. You can use it as a counter. step back. You know, a good example of this is Anderson Silva.
So Viking, he should have been throwing that teep kick. If he would have been throwing that teep kick, would have been a whole different scenario for that fight. But you know, I'm obsessed right now with the power of kicks and how effective
roundhouse
they are.
kick.
So we're gonna look at this head kick video, and we're gonna continue watching these fights for about another 30 minutes. All right, so we're gonna watch this video real quick and see what's up.
The head kick, roundhouse kick, is one of the most powerful strikes you can do to a person. So I'm gonna show you guys a couple head kick setups today. All right, so we're here. I'm gonna go double jab, cross. Again, double jab, cross. And now on the third time, double jab. As I throw my cross, as it's pulling back, I'm gonna blast the head kick. So it's pulling back, boom, head kick. Israel Adesanya landed this on Derek Brunson, one of his best knockouts. So again, double jab, cross, and now we're moving around. I'm coming back in, double jab, cross. Third time, double jab, cross, boom. As this punch is coming back, you're blasting that kick. So it's kind of hard to see it coming. So again, it's like this. I'm gonna throw the cross and the head kick. Boom, just straight down the pipe like that. This is also a good way to do this. Is like jab, hook, cross, jab, hook, cross, head kick. All right. A good way to get, if you're not flexible enough to get the head kick up there, you can kind of duck your head down. TJ Dillashaw is really good at this. You kind of duck your head down, and it gives you a little bit of extra to be able to land the kick. So if I'm going to practice it with somebody, I'm here. I just go, boom. I throw the cross. As it's coming back, boom. You go here and just kind of land it just like that on your opponent. Get used to it. And then also you want to make sure you're keeping your hands up when you do this. So once you get comfortable with it, you're going to blast the head kick. But again, so back to the first combination, double jab, cross, double jab, cross, double jab, cross, head kick. All right, so that's it. Double jab, cross, head kick, jab, hook, cross, head kick. Throw the combination twice. On the third one, mix in the head kick. As that punch is recoiling back, you're gonna throw the head kick. So again, double jab, cross, double jab, cross, double jab, cross, head kick. It's coming right there. It's really hard. It's really, really hard to see this shot coming. All right, peace.
Yeah, so the Viking should have been throwing more kicks. He should have been throwing way more kicks. But before we watch that next Street Beats fight, we're gonna get back into some of this art. So I like Picasso's Blue Period, and I like how in the Blue Period he's able to just show a lot of emotion with the art and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of art do you like?
What kind of art do I like? I was always a fan of the very technical Renaissance style paintings where they're very detailed. I like the ones with a lot of great contrast, a lot of drama. Again, I feel like you're saying, emotion. Anytime you can communicate emotions with your art, then you're really gonna touch people and reach people in a, and that's what makes it popular. I was never really a fan of modern art. I kind of don't really even now get it, and I think that's maybe just me being a little bit sitting on my high horse, being whatever, they're just painting squares or something like that. It doesn't take a lot of talent or thought process, something like that. But so I like art where you can tell that someone really had to know what they were doing and had to put a lot of skill and thought into it.
Yeah, I feel you. That's how I feel with fighting. Whenever I'm fighting or I'm in the gym training, putting together combinations is art. If I put together a jab, cross, hook, head kick, jab, cross, hook, head kick, spinning back kick, it is making art. It is it's art with your body. It's very similar, you know, to yoga. But yeah, I love art, and that's why I love martial arts, because right now I'm obsessed with kicks. When I see these Taekwondo guys going in there, throwing spinning back kicks and mixing it up, I love that. I think it's beautiful, and I think it's just incredible the things we can do with the body.
Yeah, I agree. And it's definitely, like, especially martial arts, it takes skill, but then you're also making it look cool. Like you're saying, you love watching these guys throw these amazing spinning back kicks. Like you're enjoying just the process of them doing it and looking at it. And I feel like that's with art as well. When you can see the skill and the thought behind it, then you really enjoy what you're seeing.
And not only that, when it comes to art, your art is self-expression, music, drawing, painting. So when you're in that cage, you're expressing yourself, and it is great. You know, that's why you see some of these guys coming out with their hands down, talking shit, talking trash. You get to fully express yourself, and that's what is so great about martial arts and fighting. But so back to street beefs. This next fight is Raz versus the Revolver. This is some hillbilly shit. Some hillbilly fights. Hillbilly fight night is what is actually what I'm gonna change it to.
Would you call this art? These street beefs? Is this art too?
Yeah, this is art, definitely. It's a self-expression. Hillbilly fight night.
Yeah.
I mean, so growing up, you never saw like street fights. You never saw people get into a fight at your school.
Nope, I did not. I lived a very peaceful life in the suburbs. I was not privy. I mean, it might have happened. It might have been going on outside of school, but those were not the circles that I was running in. I was a good kid.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just a good kid, goody two shoes.
I was a good kid.
So you never saw, even in your classes, you never saw somebody get into it and have a fight?
Nope. Again, I think I've heard about maybe 1 or 2 fights that happened in my school, but I wasn't there for them.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. So we're going to get back to this hillbilly fight night. This next fight is Yaz versus the Revolver. I don't know either of these guys, and it just looks like another hillbilly fight.
In this corner, we got Colton the Revolver.
Yeah.
Fighting out of Winchester, Virginia.
Very interesting.
5'5", 130,
showman.
record of 0-0 in the yard. In this corner, we got Yaz fighting out of Iraq.
Like
5'7", 145, with a record of 0-0.
12 years old.
Be safe,
Probably is
fellas.
12 years
I
old.
want all MMA rules, guys. No knees, no elbows.
40 years old.
Touch him up. You ready?
It
Time him.
looks, I mean, I don't know if this is wrong to say, but yeah, that's crazy. He's coming out throwing side kicks to the face with shoes on.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to sound bad, but I feel like the other guy kind of looks like he has Down syndrome. I don't know if that's like
As a what?
has Down syndrome. I don't know if that's like wrong to say, but I mean, that's just.
I want all MMA rules, guys. No knees, no elbows.
Call it like you see it.
Touch him up. You
The
ready?
guy in the
Time
phone
him.
shorts.
Fight.
Yeah, that's crazy. He's coming out with a side kick with shoes on.
Yeah.
What I say, everyone who doesn't know how to fight is always gonna go for a guillotine.
There it is. Stay on them. Stay on them. Work. Use your hands there.
So now here, the dude on top, if he would have grabbed him, how he's grabbing him, but he needs to get his shoulder in the neck more, and that's gonna cut off the carotid arteries, and that's gonna cut off the brain, the blood supply to the brain, and he's gonna go to sleep. But he's gonna get rolled over here.
Yeah, y'all. Knees, circle, circle. Knees, y'all. Circle to the back.
No knees.
Yeah, no knees, guys.
For everybody watching, so if you want to know how to fight, you need to learn how to get out of a guillotine choke. Because if you get into a street fight, you get into a street altercation, we've seen fight after fight. More likely than not, someone's going to get on your neck and try to choke you like that. So you need to know how to get out of that type of situation.
Okay, good. I did the same thing.
On that neck.
What are you doing, guys? Good break. Good break.
Don't forget to breathe.
Oh, your hands. Let's go.
Let's go, Cole.
Use your hands, Cole. Dig the body. There you go. Good. Good weight. Rush him. Rush him.
He's got a lot of heart. He's like out there showing off too.
Yeah.
Just watching UFC pretending to be a fighter. Watching UFC pretending to be a fighter, but you know, we all got to start somewhere. Who do you think's gonna win so far?
I mean, unfortunately, I think the older guy is gonna win.
Who's older? We don't know what you're
The
talking
darker
about.
skin guy. I don't know which name
Whoa,
belongs to him.
whoa. What are you trying to say?
Well, that's why I said older, so I wouldn't get accused of being racist.
Wow.
But you know,
So
I
yeah,
gotta
I
describe
got
him
you.
somehow.
Other guy. All right. I'll say I'm gonna go with flame shorts.
Yeah.
I mean, bending over like that isn't advised.
Y'all said lead leg.
I'm not gonna lie, these dudes are entertaining, but they definitely don't look like they're in the same weight class.
Step aside. Use your hands.
There's no weight classes here.
30 seconds. Working circles, Cole. Working circles, Cole. Check that leg kick, Cole.
Yeah, Flame Shorts is looking. He looks very serious though.
Yeah.
Hang on, stay on. 15 seconds. 15 seconds.
I mean, I wonder if the police ever come out with these fights. I mean, they must, right? I mean, I don't know. This is very interesting how they. He's like, at least when we were doing it, we were kids doing it, so it wasn't like a big deal. When we were teenagers, we could be like, oh, we don't know exactly what we're doing, and it is mutual combat, but I don't know what state they're in. But yeah, this is interesting to me. How they are doing this.
That they're getting away with
Come here,
it.
baby.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there's nothing illegal going on.
Four,
Yeah, if
three,
everybody's consenting.
2, 1.
No one's calling the cops.
Last round. Go. Get me. Close your eyes. There you go. Get him now, Cole. That's right. That's right. Get on him.
This dude doesn't know how to fight to save his life.
Stay focused. Circle constantly, guys. Let's go, baby.
Kick him in the balls.
Let's see some more of those kicks.
They're protecting themselves.
These dudes definitely aren't in the same weight class. Definitely not in the same weight class.
Absolutely, man. Good sportsmanship. Give them all day. Nice. I'll tell you about checking, man. That's out, not in. Out.
I find myself impressed.
Impressive. What?
The younger guy, the flame shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely smaller than that guy, but he's still getting some good hits on him.
Yeah, he is hurt.
Yeah, definitely got hurt. He keeps going to some real training. I mean, I guess he can't be 12 years old. He's got a tattoo.
I mean, these fights are sometimes better than a lot of the UFC fights.
I mean, I feel like something like this, because there isn't as much
20 seconds,
regulation, really anything can happen.
They've got heart, they're just throwing hands. They don't really care about taking. They're just trying to show the fighting spirit, which
5, 4,
is
3,
the reason that,
1, time.
which is the reason that we all love fights in the first place. We love fights because of the fighting spirit. It's not necessarily about, like, you could make a multiple $1 million fight company with a couple people who really don't know how to fight, but they're entertaining, they're showmen, and they go out and they have the spirit to fight and the heart to fight. I think sometimes it's good to just simplify everything, because for myself to get so caught up in professional fighter skills, blah blah blah. This guy's been training since he was however old. All this bullshit. None of that stuff matters. All that matters is, do you want to fight? How big are your balls? Get in there, throw hands.
Yeah. I mean, my martial arts teacher, we would have tests for our next belt ranks, and we would be tested on our fighting spirit, on our heart. So it wasn't enough for us to just be able to show the techniques and show that we knew the skills and whatever, but we had to show that we were in it, that we had heart and were participating in, were really like giving energy to the movements and stuff like that. He wanted to see that we really cared about what we were doing, not just that we knew the skills.
Yeah, how did he test for your fighting spirit?
I mean, it was just more of a subjective thing on the judges' parts. There were always at least like three judges who were black belts who were watching the testing going on, and it's like, do you go through the full extent of your punches? Like, do you really reach out and punch through the person, not just put your arm out there? When you ki-eye, are you doing it loud and proud, or are you just saying ki-eye just because that's what you're supposed to do? It was that kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like that. It's a good test.
Y'all touch them up. Y'all touch them up for me. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Last round. Ready, timer? Go. Fight.
Last round.
Good fight.
Yeah.
Good MMA fight.
You imagine breaking your leg in one of these fights? It would be your leg snapped in half.
There you go. That would be crazy.
I mean, it can't happen.
Oh yeah. It's like here in someone's backyard, calling an ambulance, or driving to the hospital.
People like you want to get killed. He's like Cookie Monster.
This dude's bigger. He has training. I mean, it's kind of a pussy move to be fighting someone smaller than you when you clearly have training. Everything. Some of these guys will be training and then go into these backyard fights just to get famous.
Yeah.
1 minute left.
I mean, have you ever seen any of Kimbo Slice's fight?
Kimbo Slice, nothing specifically comes to mind.
Backyard fights? You don't know about Kimbo Slice?
45 seconds.
I know I've heard the name.
Nice kicks.
I'm sure the one dude won, but we're gonna go into the history of backyard fights. So back in like the early 2000s, you know, the internet was pretty new. You know, it wasn't new; it's been around for a minute, but the whole internet culture wasn't really a thing yet. You had guys like Kimbo, so somehow Kimbo Slice, they were doing these backyard fights in Miami, and Kimbo Slice would just go and fight random people like a police officer or a fireman or whatever, and they would fight actually for money. There'd be like maybe $1,000 on the line. But Kimbo Slice was like the first YouTube street fighter, basically. And later on, he got into UFC and stuff like that. But that's how Kimbo Slice came up. And it's always been, I think, a part of human nature to just see who is the biggest badass.
Yeah. Who is the best?
Yeah, it's just interesting. Like, it's just interesting to see, like, you know. But so we're gonna watch Kimbo Slice fights.
Fuck that nigga, that's funded. Run it, Bird. Fuck out, motherfucker. That's all you got, nigga. Come on, hit me. You gotta fight back. That's all you got, nigga. This whole. Come on. Come on. Finish it, Bird. Come on. Finish that shit. Stop playing, nigga. Finish that. Finish it. What's up?
There's always the one dude in the back who's not fighting, and he's yelling and screaming and blah blah blah.